Pro-life groups were pushed to the side this weekend at women's marches across the country. Marches in Washington, D.C. and across the U.S. drew hundreds of thousands of people. They protested against President Donald Trump and pushed for greater access to abortion.
Women will be hidden no more. We will not remain hidden figures. We have names. We're complete human beings, and they cannot police us.
Political leaders and activists spoke about a wide range of issues, including abortion, climate change, immigration policy, and gay rights. The marches weren't limited to the U.S., taking place around Europe and beyond. Australia was the scene of the first major international march. Thousands joined an anti-Trump protest in downtown Sydney. Organizers say the goal was to show opposition to the values they think President Trump represents. Here in Washington, Students for Life attended the women's protest. The pro-life group showed solidarity, but made it clear that women's rights need to include the rights of the unborn.
As a pro-lifer, I'm very pro-women, and I think human rights include the preborn, include everyone, and I think this march is excluding that population. So I'm marching with everything they stand for except for that one thing and saying, you know, I march for all women, even before birth.
A pro-life stance is pro-woman, it's pro-child, even for unborn women, and so we march along with the women that are here.
We need to make sure that when we're saying we care about children, we care about babies, that we're saying we care about women too, and this is what is best for women.
It wasn't always peaceful. Members say they were harassed and ridiculed for holding signs saying abortion betrays women. Joining us now is Charmine Yoest, Senior Fellow with American Values, and Reagan Barklage, Western Regional Director for Students for Life. Charmine, as a leader in the pro-life movement, having covered all this, what did you learn about the feminist movement during Saturday's march?
Well, you know, I think the important thing is that the feminists really betrayed their true colors. The fact that they came out with a hard and fast line and said that pro-life women were not welcome. That should be a wake-up call to women across the country, that this is a very radicalized modern feminist movement, and the fact that we're not welcome as pro-life women is pretty significant.
And Reagan, you were at the march, obviously in the minority being pro-life. What was the reaction from other marchers? How did they treat you?
Well, I mean, obviously we weren't invited, like Charmine said, and that's funny as an all-inclusive women's march to disinvite, you know, women. When we got there, we obviously were not welcome. We led the march at the end with our Abortion Betrays Women banner. And then at the end, we came back and we held up our banner and signs. We were spit at, yelled at, someone tore up our signs. It was ridiculous, but we did have some people leave the march and join us and take a stand for life, so that was really awesome.
Charmine, historically, women who have fought for women's right to vote have been pro-life. I mean, you look,
Right.
It's there. How has that message sort of been hijacked by the pro-abortion movement?
Well, you know, the modern feminists really do betray their heritage. Susan B. Anthony, very strong pro-lifer, many others. So, you know, what really happened, and to condense a lot of history into a very short period of time, is that the feminists took this precious American concept of equality and really distorted it in saying that women needed to be just like men in order to be equal. And abortion is a fundamental part of that. Abortion undergirds the modern feminist movement as kind of a backstop to trying to create this false equality between men and women.
Well, there are still so many pro-lifers here in the United States. Reagan, was there anything that you found when you were talking with these people on the other side that you could find some sort of common ground?
You know, absolutely. We are all about empowering women, and for Students for Life, it's at the college campus, and we want to empower women that they can be a student and a mom. They don't have to make that hard choice of abortion. And so at Students for Life, we have a Pregnant on Campus initiative where we work with campuses to make it friendly for students who are parents, and by putting diaper decks in the bathrooms, lactation rooms, daycare, and all of that. And that's something that the other side should be all on board with.
Yeah, but they haven't traditionally. That's part of the conflict, I imagine. Charmine, what would you say to people though who care about these issues, these women's issues, but they're pro-life? I mean, where do they go to have a voice?
Well, you know, one of the most controversial things that I say in speeches and in talks with pro-abortion groups is the idea that pro-life is pro-woman. That just makes them crazy. They can't, they fundamentally reject that. And so I think as pro-life women, we really need to take that challenge and run with it and be better at articulating that consistently over time, forcing that conversation on the national consciousness that pro-life is pro-woman, and that's what we're really all about.
Reagan, do you have any tips with regards to that? I mean, talking with somebody who claims to be pro-choice, how do you sort of get them to begin to understand your perspective?
Right. I mean, we want to empower women and show them that they are strong enough to be a mom and a student, or, be a mom and even place their child for adoption. It's not, you don't have to be pro-woman by pro-abortion, and that seems to be something that the other side is pushing, especially with their whole abortion positive messaging now.
Very important issues here. We're glad to have both of you all on the program to talk about this. Charmine Yoest, Senior Fellow with American Values, and Reagan Barklage, Western Regional Director, Students for Life. Thanks so much.
Thank you.